Neil, what is it you'd like to say?
Well, obviously, people are waiting to see what's happening at the club, and after giving it a lot of thought after the Lincoln game, I've decided that I would like to stay at the club and fight for my job. I fully accept that results have been disappointing of late, and we certainly haven't made the progress that I was hoping this season. But having said that, it was an extremely difficult job that I walked into, and it is proven to be the case that it is a difficult job, and it will take time to turn around. I would like to say I think the biggest point of what I want, the message I want to get across, is that my own fate won't be decided by people who want to boo me and who want to abuse me. That won't decide my fate at all. My fate will be decided by the players. So my job is in their hands. They need to show the same fight and determination and desire that they did on Tuesday against Lincoln, where I thought they were excellent. And like I say, it won't be down to any supporter. It'll be down to the players, whether I stay at the club long term or short term. And I must say that the chairman has been very supportive during this difficult period. But I accept that results, they must improve, or it's going to put him under pressure to make a change. And I accept that, and we all know that's what happens in football. But for this moment in time, I want to stay, I want to fight, but it will be all about how the players perform really over the next sort of few weeks.
So Neil, you've given us your statement. Just tell us first of all what New Year's Day's post-match interview was all about then. Was that just the end of a tough few weeks?
Yeah, I think it was. It had obviously been, very disappointing. Does put you under a strain because you want to be getting results, and we haven't been getting them. And it sort of, I think there's a lot of frustration, but at the end of the day, like I've said in that statement, the players, it's always down to the players. I think if you haven't got the backing of the players, and if you don't think that they're willing to play for you, then really as a manager there's no point in you being in the job or being at the club. And I think everybody knew that game was important and the players responded, but they've got to continue to do that. And like I've said, if I'm going to stay in a job, it will be based on results. It always is, and it's up to the players to get the results.
How much fight have you got, given the state that you've been having? Because it looked on New Year's Day like you got quite a bit of fight in you.
No, I've got a lot of fight, and I'll never lie down when people are booing me or if they're giving me stick. My whole instinct is to respond, and I will continue to do that. I'm never gonna lie down. I mean, if there was one game where I might have laid down, it was probably going into Lincoln, because you're thinking, well, you've not only got 9,000 whatever fans, but you've got your own fans against you as well. So you haven't got many friends in the ground. But it will disappoint people who don't like me. That it's got no effect if they boo or whatever. It honestly got no effect, because when I get in and after a game and reflect on the game, what affects me and what causes me sleepless nights or whatever is always the performance, how the players are playing, what they're not doing, the result. It's never because people are giving me stick. I can handle that. What you can't handle as a manager long term is the players not performing. That's the top and bottom of it.
How thick-skinned are you, would you say?
Yeah, I think nobody likes to get criticised, but if you want to be a football manager, that's you have to. It's just something that comes with a job. So I don't want any. I'm not doing this to receiving any sympathy. I don't want that. That's not what I'm after. What I want is the players to respond, and want them to play to the best of their ability. And I'm not saying that's going to be suddenly they're going to storm up the league. But what they should be doing is they should be making sure that in every game they're more than a match for every team that we play.
What's the chairman had to say to you?
Like I've said, the chairman has been very supportive since I've been here. He's never once, I would say, obviously he watches the games. He knows that when things are not going well, but he's always been supportive. But like I've said in my statement, if you're not getting results and you're not winning games, then the chairman of any football club becomes under pressure, and then that's obviously what ultimately then it ends up with that pressure coming onto the manager. So the only way we can relieve that is by winning games.
Well, now that your future's sorted, I can, for the first time in January, ask you about transfers.
Yes.
You were disappointed with not getting some targets, Mark Sykes being one of them. How far down the line are you with others?
I think with Mark Sykes, I must say that our club did everything we could to get him. The difficulty we had was we had to make an offer, and then we had a problem because they publicised the offer, and so everybody knew they just had to either match the offer or such, because then Oxford obviously can pay better wages than us, and it's a high division, so you accept that the lad's possibly going to want to go and play there. So there's not a lot we could do in that, and we did everything we could. So it was disappointing, but until we got to January, there was always the chance that somebody else could come in for him, and there was little we could do. With other targets, I think people, if I was sitting here and saying that I wasn't going to be a manager and somebody else was going to come in, if anybody thinks that a manager can come in and wave a magic wand in terms of January transfer window and pick up loads of players, it's just not. It just doesn't happen. You're on the phone. I've been on the phone all this morning. You're continuously ringing people, but for targets to drop, you're ringing clubs where they've got targets. They don't want to let players go until they get players in, and that's why there's a knock-on effect, and it takes time throughout January. But we know we need to strengthen. We're desperately trying to do that. But it would be the same for any other manager who was sat here. January is always a difficult time, and you've got to really do most of your business got to be done in the summer. But we are hopeful that we can get a couple of players in.
Is it possible to say whether or not you're hopeful that you'll have somebody in by the next league game, certainly a week tomorrow?
I would say we've been trying. I mean, we're trying to get somebody in for Tuesday. We've been. That hasn't stopped because of my position has been. You have to keep working on targets, but there is a player in mind, but there's a host of other clubs in for the same player. But if we got him, he'd be available for Tuesday. But like I say, when you're competing against several other clubs, there's a lot of factors come into play. And it's like fingers crossed. But if we don't get him, then we'll have to move on to somebody else.
Idris Carnu and Scott Quigley have gone back. What about Lewis Hardcastle and Louis Dodds?
At the moment, I would say that there's a chance that both players could go back. There's a chance that both players could stay. It's going to depend on again what comes available. So I think we just have to wait and see. And
what's happening with the future of Mitchell Clark as well?
Well, Mitchell Clark wants he enjoys playing here. He's on a season-long loan, so for Mitchell Clark to go elsewhere, it would need Aston Villa to recall him. There's nothing we can do about that. We just got to wait until the month is out. But that's out of our hands. But like I say, I believe it's been a good move for Aston Villa and coming here. Good move for Mitchell because he's got he's gained experience. He's played in a couple of positions, and it's only benefiting him. So, from Villa's point of view, it's a good loan move for him.